Before we're going to do a Q&A here, we got some questions beforehand. You guys, some good questions that you have for these guys. Just a few announcements. One of the sponsors for the Reds Caravan is Cincinnati USA Regional Tourism Network. Perhaps you've seen some dorky TV guy on a few commercials. I would invite you guys to go on to CincinnatiUSA.com. It's kind of a one-stop shop. If you guys are coming to Cincinnati, you can book your hotel through that site, and you can get half-price Reds tickets, etc., and check out all the attractions in Cincinnati. I would highly invite you to do that. Also, the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum. There are members from the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum here on the tour with us. If you guys have not been through there, they're right there in the back, out waving their hand there. Outside of Cooperstown, it is the best baseball collection in all of the country. So if you have not been through the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, treat yourself to it. The history of the Reds, everything is capitalized in there, and we certainly invite you to do that. They're open year-round as well. It does not have to be during the season. You can go there this week coming up. And also, we have Reds ticket representatives in the back. Ashley's back there waving her arm. If you guys would like to, are interested in season tickets, and I know everyone's interested in the opportunity to get All-Star tickets, you can guarantee yourself the opportunity to buy All-Star tickets if you are a season ticket holder, and you can also be a half-season ticket holder. You don't have to buy the full season, you can be a half-season ticket holder, and a lot of friends will get together and we'll split up those games, etc. So Ashley is in the back, and she can answer all your questions about the promotions. There's 9 bobblehead days this year. I believe we got a Todd Frazier bobblehead going this year. We got a Nasty Boys triple bobblehead coming up. Every Saturday there'll be giveaways at the ballpark. Sundays are family days. Friday nights, if you've been there, you know it's the best fireworks in all of baseball. So we certainly love that you're here, but our number one goal will be to see you at the ballpark. So thank you very much for coming. Let's get into this Q&A.
And I'll tell you what, you guys have your work cut out for you, because we were in Findlay, and there was only about 100 people there. They got 6 season tickets out of that. So jump right up. All right, you want to go first? What do you got?
Sure, let's go here. This question is for Todd Frazier. Explain the Pythagorean theorem. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. This is from McKenna. Are you excited about Marlon Byrd joining the team, Todd?
Hello? Oh, okay. We're good. It's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Pythagorean theorem. So,
nice. Jersey in the house.
I'm very excited.
What they say about people from Jersey isn't true, and
wow.
Nice job.
No, I am. I'm very excited about Marlon Byrd. He's a veteran guy. The stats he had last year, you can't not be excited. He's going to come in here, hopefully, be that guy for us. Be kind of like a leader. And, just have fun with us. Everybody's going to be healthy. Marlon's coming in here healthy, and, we're going to have a pretty sick lineup if you think about it once we get everybody and get all our key cogs in attack, and it's going to be a fun year. I got high hopes for this team.
All right, next question is for Alex and Todd. There's no name on it, but it says, guys, what type of baseball bat do you use and why?
I've been through a whole bunch through the minor leagues, but I finally figured out which one I like. It's called a Marucci bat, maple, 35-inch bat, 32.5 ounces.
Kind of in the same boat, been through quite a few models, but right now I'm swinging a B45 bat. It's made of birch, and it's a 31.5 ounces, 34 inches. So that's what's been working for me lately.
All right, next question is from Matt from Springboro. Oh, this is a good one, Brian. You're gonna love this. What is the projected batting order? We're in January. You gotta set your lineup right now.
I like that. I'll tell you, if there's been anything that's kept me up at night, it's been thinking what our order is going to look like with the addition of Marlon Byrd. I think we're going to have to do some things in spring training and just make sure that Joey's all the way back and doing his thing, and take a good look at our players when we get to spring training. I think the one thing with the addition of Marlon Byrd is that we know 1 through 7 that we're going to have a real impactful lineup, and I think we can be very optimistic that Zach Kozart is going to have a real nice rebound season in 2015. The one thing that's for sure that in that 7 hole is going to be somebody that's driven in most likely 80 or more runs at some point in time in their career, and that's going to make a big difference. We talked about that last year with Todd hitting 6th and Mesoraco hitting 7th. And with all the injuries, Todd did extremely well hitting 3rd and Devin hitting 4th. So we have some challenges to integrate Marlon and Joey back into things, having a healthy Brandon Phillips, Jay Bruce having a rebound year. So it's a great question, but one I haven't put an answer to just yet.
And I guess we can go on that answer as well. This is for Brian as well. Again, no name on it, but it says, what are your hopes for the upcoming season?
Well, beyond good health, we always pull for good health. I'd really love to see some of the young kids from our system come up and give us a boost along the lines of what Mike Leake and Travis Wood were able to do for our rotation in 2010. Drew Stubbs had his first full season in the big leagues and hit 20 home runs and had a great year for us in center field. And we were able to evolve as an organization with the strength of our young reserves. And if we take a look over the last 5 or 6 years of the system, we've seen guys like Todd and Devin, Zach Kozart, Billy Hamilton, Jay Bruce, a laundry list of great young players come up through our system, not to mention all the good pitching. So we're going to need that. Right now we have 3 starters that are definitely in our rotation in Cueto Leak and Homer Bailey. But we have 2 openings there, and we have a couple of spots on the bench that are also open. So we're going to need some of our youth to come up and support us, and we should be optimistic that we can do exactly what we did in 2010, with the exception being that we not only get to the playoffs, but we go there and kick a little butt along the way.
I'd like to hear that. All right, I love this question. It's for Todd Frazier. It's from Luke. I know you're from New Jersey, but do you live in Cincinnati during the season? That'll be a long commute.
Yes, I do live in Cincinnati during the season.
You watch that?
There you go.
Very cool.
All right, this is for the 3 of you, I guess, players and besides GABP, where is your favorite place to play ball? That's from Chase, so thank you, Chase.
My favorite place, I love playing in Wrigley Field. I don't know why, the wind's always blowing in, but I just think, it's that mecca, the stadium, and that Wrigley out there. It's a lot of fun to play a day game there for sure.
I haven't had the pleasure of playing in all the big league parks yet, but so far, honest to God, Dayton has been my favorite place. Thank you guys for that. For me, it really comes down to where we win the most, and I'm actually from the San Francisco Bay Area. That's where I grew up originally. And as long as I've been with the Reds, we've gone to San Francisco and played extremely well, including a 4-game sweep last year. So I like where we go and we win. And San Francisco recently has been a place where we've had some success.
This question is for you, Brian. Another one you're going to love. What are your expectations for Joey Votto for the upcoming season? And if I could add that to it, just give everyone an update on how the rehab's going.
Yeah, the rehab's going great. I think we could spend a lot of time talking about the injury and how things went during the year. I think what we got to focus on is on 2015 and Joey being healthy and returning to form. And I believe with great confidence that he will be back at full speed by opening day. The one thing that's been a challenge is where if a player that ends the season healthy can take a month off and then start their weight training and their baseball activity. If you're having to rehab, you have to focus on rehab first and then reintroduce baseball activity second. That's what Joey's done. So I really look for the best of Joey starting closer to opening day than the first day of spring training, because it's been a while since he's been on the field. I think he's going to have a phenomenal year, and I think he's going to begin the season healthy and hopefully, like the rest of the guys, stay healthy all year.
All right, this is for Todd Frazier. Todd, this is from Greg Robbins. What are your favorite Dayton Dragon memories?
Oh, man. My favorite of all time was in between innings. It was early in the games, and they bring up the infant child up, and they have the lemon. So they squeeze the lemon in their mouth, and you just see the faces on those kids. And I'd be on the on-deck circle getting ready to go, and I'm watching the screen the whole time. Some of those faces were just unbelievable. I try to, with my kid, I think two months ago, I said, let's try it. So he came, you know, his mouth's coming out like this, so he sucks the lemon out of it, and he just looks at me like this, like, am I supposed to make an expression or anything? He didn't make one darn expression. I'm like, dude, you're a champ. That's why I love you, bud.
All right, right back at you, Frage. This is going to be a good one. You might have too many to tell and some you can't tell. Share a funny locker room story.
There's a lot of good stories in the locker room. I can't really, you know, what happens really in there stays in there. I mess with these guys all the time, Jim and Jeff. You know, whether it's, you know, pouring water on them or shaving cream or whatever it is. There's some good stories that I really have to keep to myself. That's why we're a family unit. You know what I mean? Sorry.
All right, Todd. And unfortunately, the person did not put their name on this, but it says, Todd, could you please sing your favorite Frank Sinatra song? It's early in the morning, too.
I'm a little congested. All right, I'll give a quick line. Brian, you can critique me if you want, because you're the manager. Fly me to the moon, let me play amongst the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. You probably put that question down too.
We would never do that. This is a good question. I like this. Actually, well, let's give this to Todd and Alex and, you know, anyone. Didn't sign it, but says, I'm a teacher. What are your favorite books? I know Stanford guys got to have some books, right?
Those guys probably read like Moby Dick or something. I read Goosebumps. I mean, I was a big R.L. Stein. God, I couldn't sleep at night after reading The Mummy and stuff like that. There was I don't know. These guys are the smart ones, so ask them.
You said favorite books. I mean, a lot of the ones I had to read in school weren't necessarily my favorite, but Calvin and Hobbes were definitely some of my favorites growing up. I think that's what taught me how to read from a young age, so Calvin and Hobbes for sure.
Renaissance manager, you want to answer that? The Renaissance man?
Little engine that could, what do you like?
I'll be honest with you, I'm 52. I read the funnies every single day in the paper, and I love them. You know, I love autobiographies, but I'll tell you, I did it with my daughter when she was young. As I went back to those the Narnia books, The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, things of that nature. Really enjoyed that. I wish I was more cerebral for you, but I keep going back to the classics, and that was one of my favorites.
I don't know who asked this question, but it's kind of neat anyway. This is for me and Jim. And it says, other than the Reds' on-air personalities, who has been your favorite person to work with? I'll let you start.
Wow. Favorite person to work with? Gotta be Todd Frazier.
Who did you work with?
Hey, I'll give you the money. When
Oh,
we come
work
back on
with
the
us.
bus.
I thought you meant like players. Is it like we're interview like players or a person to work with?
It's gotta be players. It's gotta
Gotta be
be
I'm sure
players.
they meant players. You're just Todd.
Besides Todd Frazier,
Really?
it's hard to pick one, but you know, you can't get better than Sean
Such a
Casey.
special relationship with Jason LaRue, though, too.
Kill him. You can't get better than Sean Casey. I mean, one of the best human beings on the planet. He was fun to be around on a daily basis. And you want to talk about someone that got every ounce out of his body that he did, including running as hard as he could. He tried to run hard, but he was one of those guys that kids could look at, you know, like little things, like a secondary lead from second base. He got every ounce of everything he could out of the body. And off the field, he was just terrific. So he's the first guy that comes to mind.
Yeah, for me, obviously, Case has been fantastic. But the guy that I really appreciated, I think everyone thought of him, and Brian Price, I think will appreciate this answer too. Your perception of him and our perception of him is totally different. That's Bronson Arroyo. A lot of people thought that he was this hard-partying guy, but I mean, he was so professional to work with. And I'll never forget the first time that Jim could probably echo this, when we broke down He had a great performance, and the next day he sat down with us, and we replayed probably 10 or 15 different pitches that he made during the game, and he broke it down like he had been working on Fox or ESPN his whole life. So I think he's got a great career. If he chooses to do that in TV or radio, I mean, he was really good and just would do anything we ever asked. And I think Phillips is kind of the same way. He'll do anything we ask him to do.
I'll echo that on Bronson Rowe. I miss that guy right there. And another guy on the team I really like working with, Sam LeCure. He's one of my favorite guys. Sam is a good dude. You know, we can't leave Jeff Graupe out down there. We're just going to go off the board here because I know Jeff is dying to talk.
Yeah, sorry, I nodded off there for a little bit, but I'm back.
In the minor league system, people love to hear names that might be coming through the pipeline. The Reds traded 2 starters in the offseason, so you've got to fill those gaps immediately. But we were just at our last stop, and Brian was writing down the pitchers in the system. It's a pretty impressive list. Can you talk about some of those guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely the strength of our minor league system. There's some starting pitching that's coming that I think we'll see mostly in 2016, 2017, but Baseball America, the national media, ESPN has picked up on a lot of it and has given us a lot of credit. Pitchers like Michael Lorenzen, Jonathan Moscott are in the AAA level. Robert Stevenson's very well known, a young right-handed pitcher who's up to 100 miles an hour. And then a lot of the guys that were in the Dayton rotation here last year have really bright futures. We're very high on Amir Garrett, Nick Travieso, Nick Howard. I mean, a bunch of guys that did a nice job in Dayton last year. Unfortunately, we fell a little bit short in the playoffs, which was our ultimate goal here, but we'll have another good team here next year, and we're pumped about what's coming up the pipeline.
For the 2 players and the manager here, when did you guys start playing baseball?
My first T-ball game was at 6, so I can't remember the first time I really picked up a bat, but my brothers always had me playing games with them. I was like the guinea pig, so they said, you try it first.
I think I started around 5 in T-ball, same way as Todd. I think I wasn't very good though. I tried to get people out by hitting them with the ball, so I don't know if that's how the game works exactly. Yeah.
You know, I was more of a late starter. I started at, I was almost 11 when I started playing. I played some basketball and football and hadn't played any baseball. I got hoodwinked into it by my father and my best friend. And went down and signed up, and I was a big kid. I didn't have any baseball talent at all, but I was tall. And so I went to the major leagues and Little League and was absolutely terrible. Absolutely, by far and away, the worst player on my team. So from that point on, everything was up. You know, it was a bonus. Anything I could do, if I hit the ball or caught it or whatever, was a bonus. So I started late. Maybe that's the reason why I'm been coaching for so long, and these guys are such good players. They started a lot earlier.
You throw left, but you right-handed. Did you bat left-handed?
Are you filling time here with this question?
Yeah.
You got to be filling time. I hit left-handed.
No, that was just natural curiosity because we were both like thrown off that you were lefty, but you were right-handed. So.
Yeah, I'm a mess. I'm all mixed up. I'm confused.
All right, this is for the players. Any unique game day traditions? I guess that would also include superstitions.
It just depends on the day. I dance, I sing, I try to fire everybody up. And like Votto, he gets really annoyed with me before a game, so I have to go to the other side of the locker room. Brian sometimes gets annoyed with me, so I try and do whatever I can. When Cueto's pitching, it's the greatest day in the world because he's doing the same thing as me. He's dancing. You know, they play that Spanish music that not many people like, but I do, so it's when I'm dancing, I'm feeling good. I let everybody know.
Couple superstitions for me. I always got to put my left shoe on first. It's a given, and then it kind of depends if I'm doing well or not. But I always try to find one guy who might be lucky in the dugout. So give his head a nice little rub there, and if it's working out, I'll stick to that guy. But if it's if it's not, I'll find someone else. So.
You guys remember Danny Graves? Danny Graves, he had game day, we went through his superstitions and we counted them. There was 23 steps, including putting on his socks, his shoes, his uniform. It was 23 steps, and he had to do them all in order every single day. So there are some guys that don't have them, and there are some guys that are just crazy about them.
I will unveil one thing that happens in the clubhouse, and I don't think they'll be mad about me saying this, but Brian, you've got to agree. I have never seen anybody come to work every single day that gets so excited about playing baseball as the guy sitting next to you. I mean, he literally is like a kid, and he's getting paid to play a kid's game. It's absolutely awesome to see every day.
Yeah, no, you know what? It is, in this game, it's such a mentally challenging game to play. It's such a hard game to play at a high level consistently. And what you do tend to see is you tend to see players that go with that ebb and flow of the game and their emotions, and you can see it every day, the change, if they're going well, if they're not going well. And the beauty of it is with Todd is that he shows up as the same guy every day, always optimistic that he's going to play well, always optimistic that the team's going to win, always irritating in the clubhouse if you're the manager. You see him dancing by your door every day. So when it comes to the things that I do on a daily basis, rituals and things of that nature, is to close the door every time I can hear Todd coming.
All right, this is the final question for these guys, and then Danielle's going to make an announcement in just a second. And this is the perfect question to end on, and it's for Todd Frazier. So Todd, the final question goes to you. What did it feel like winning the Little League World Series?
Well, we haven't heard this story.
Never heard it.
Well, we've never heard this story.
It was really, like we talk about dreams, that was one of my dreams growing up. I was 9 years old, my brother Jeff went in 1995, and we had 3 guys there on the team. And we said, come on fellas, this is something we want to do. And a couple lucky breaks here and there, and we made it. And now, like, the thing I take from baseball is the friendships that you make along the way. And I still talk to a kid I played against from Saudi Arabia. I keep trying to look up a couple guys from Japan, see if they're playing. Their names are pretty hard to say, but can figure out sometimes. But it's I still talk to the president of the Little League World Series. It's just a really fantastic thing. I wish everybody got to experience it. It was a whirlwind, and it kind of took the world by storm. It was just a great thing that happened for us, and it kind of kickstarted my career in baseball. And it was a lot of fun.
Thank you for all the questions, Danielle.
Yes, we're going to get started on the autograph session. So as I said before, the first row will go first, the entire first row across the aisle, and then we'll go to the second row at that time. So we'll tell the second row when to stand, and then everybody else, if you just want to stay in your seat, we'll release your row one row at a time. So the first row wants to stand, and then just form a line right across here, and then we'll just wrap around right here. And please have your ticket ready to give to Gary in the red jacket.